Alrighty then. Successful indie author 5-minute focus episode 863 patterns. What patterns do you repeat in your life? As an author, especially as a new author, you need to establish new patterns, new habits, those things that you do naturally. How long does it take to establish a habit? Well, research suggests, and I just looked this up, anywhere from 10 days to 254 days of repeating a behavior before it becomes a habit. Think about your author career and your writing. What are you doing to create the right habits, to do the right things for your author career? It's not just having an idea and writing a great story. There's a lot more to an author career than that. It starts with the great story, though. And this is, how do you get your ideas, and then how do you put them into a place where you can work on them later? Because you can't take this great idea and write a whole book today. It's just not how it works. It takes a month to write a book, 6 months, a year. So how do you take this idea and make sure that you follow through on it and incorporate all of that information, all of that inspiration that you had into this story? You've got to capture it somehow. So what is that habit? What does the capturing of the idea look like? What does the execution of the idea look like? What is the business aspect? Once you have this story, what are you doing to make sure it gets out there? Or are you just ignoring it and writing the next book? You can't do that completely. Now, nothing sells the last book like the next book. However, it helps to have a plan, and it helps execute that plan. So reinforce the new habits. Make sure you have a reward system for yourself. So when you do something right, hey, that's it. I get my coffee up. I have to cut down on my sugar, so I have 1 creamer coffee a day, and that's what's in here. So I'm doing this. I'm going to sip on my coffee and try to get some more words in. So good habits yield the success that you seek. However, if you don't keep reinforcing those good habits, what's going to happen? Patterns. You're going to fall into the old way of doing things. What's the old way? Think about your relationships. What's the old way? You're all inspired. You're happy. You're doing great new things. You're visiting museums with your girlfriend. All of a sudden, you get married, and there you are on the couch in your underwear watching TV. Well, you can't always be dating, but you can't always be thinking about that. The right pattern. Don't fall into the old pattern that wasn't productive. So productive, because we're talking about your business here, your author business. What are you doing that's productive? What are you reinforcing for yourself so you have the right patterns of behavior to produce what you want? A lifestyle that you get to write, you get to tell stories, you get to entertain people, you get to explore your art. Those are the things that will you long term through life. Because if you don't, if you just go up and down, hey, you wrote a great book and then you did nothing with it, and it's out there and people love it, but they don't know if there's going to be more of it or whatever, because you've already moved on to your old pattern of doing things that aren't beneficial to you overall. But that's the pattern that you grew up with. Don't fall into those patterns. Water seeks the lowest level. People will tell you that that's probably gravity. Bullshit. Have you ever been on a stormy sea? Yeah, that's it has its own life. So water seeks the lowest level, and that's what it's going to do. It's going to defy you and seek that low level, and that's what you're going to do too if you don't change your behaviors. Recognizing it is the most important thing you can do to changing it. Reinforcing a new habit that's productive, that's better, that's positive, that's going to help you with your career. Easy, whatever's easiest, that's not necessarily good. So look for what is good, what is right for your business. It shouldn't be too painful, and that's where your reward process, little coffee. All right, there you go. Patterns. Recognize the patterns in your life. Don't fall into the old ones that aren't productive and positive. Create new ones that help you and your business. Peace, fellow humans.